Etapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Qesankh Peru with another video for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about the topic of Operation Depopulate the Planet. But before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on the video. Hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also remember, I do offer free ebooks on my spiritual teachings. Scroll down below. There are 4 links. You can click on any one of those links and download the ebook today and start reading. It's totally free. However, if that's not enough for you, you can become a Patreon supporter for those $1, $5, or $20 per month, and you will get exclusive access to instructional videos on the esoteric, on the spiritual videos that will teach you how to meditate, proper breathing exercises, how to do self-hypnosis, how to hypnotize somebody else, how to ace the job interview with hypnotism, how to astro project, how to summon ancestors for your protection. And if you are an Osir level supporter, you'll get all your Oracle readings for free. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. Haru Nefer, Grand Rising, may Buddha bless you. I want to thank you all. We have hit a nice little milestone. Well, maybe I shouldn't say little. I have 9,000 subscribers. That's great. That's great. So thank you all for supporting the channel and, sending this off to friends and family members and spreading the word. So let's go for 10,000, shall we? Let's go for 10,000. So 9,000 is great, but we're not going to stop there, It's unfortunate that, YouTube has done a lot of stuff to inhibit the channel's growth. We should have had a lot more subscribers by now. I mean, I've been on this channel longer than a lot of the other spiritualists, and they're now at 1 million subs. Look at that, 1 million subs. Whereas I kind of went deep into stuff. They just stayed on fluffy stuff, like just numerology, lucid dreaming. Well, as I want to get into the deeper esoterical meaning of things, they just stay with the fluffy stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Right? And you know who I'm talking about, right? So there's nothing wrong with, getting that fluffy stuff, because sometimes the steady diet of all this conspiracy theory stuff and this deep esoteric stuff could really mess with your mind. So you need a break every now and then so you can go get that fluffy stuff, all right? But come back here and get the deeper meanings of things in your life and why you here, what's going on. And I want you to keep in mind something too. When you awaken, or if you are awake, do not expect other people to awaken. That may not be their destiny and their mission in this lifetime. Some people are so entrenched in the matrix that they will never come out of it, not in this lifetime. So don't expect, because you bring information or you show them my channel, that suddenly there's going to be an awakening in them. It doesn't happen all the time like that, because the ruling elite, the oligarchy, is making sure that the mass programming sticks, and it sticks hard. And they're constantly at work at it, So you shooting over a video here and there and talking to about the truth sometimes may not be enough against the 365-day programming and the 360-degree programming. So you can't compete with that. They have multi-billion-dollar companies that are global, that are sending out propaganda, Hollywood, and lying about the present and the past, news media, so that you can live in a type of warped reality, because you have created your own type of reality that is not an objective reality. It is a reality that's been fabricated by the oligarchy. And part of that fabrication is to tell you you're not God. to lie to you and tell you you're only human, that you have no godly powers, that those reside in Jesus or some other outside entity, which is a total lie and corruption of the truth. And those who go to church on Sunday to pray and to bow down before Jesus, they're going to pay a dear price. There was a recent video that was put out by another subscriber who's a friend of mine on his channel, and they keep taking his channel down. But believe it or not, every time he puts the channel up, it gets taken down. It's terrible. But he showed the was it Prince Charles visiting some fast food restaurant or something, and all the people there were amazed. And there was one, I believe, black woman that she literally jumped to her knees and kind of like crawled to him. And the expression on her face, it was so sad and so pathetic. Whereas everybody, was elated and happy, she went overboard emotionally. It's like, geez, there's no need to get onto your knees and crawl over to him. He's not God. He's not Jesus. It's just Prince Charles. But you see, that's how we're programmed. We're programmed to be more white than white people. So we have to outdo them. Just like in slavery, what Malcolm would say, when the slave master's sick, we go, "We sick, master? We sick?" So this woman was just demonstrating her programming, and no fault of her own. I'm not going to call her, a coon or anything like that. We all have a program in us. We all have a chip in us, and we're always downloading the latest operating system. But I will hold judgment for the masses who I think are headed in the wrong direction. Let me explain. You see, the other day, the entire media was blanketed with some sports news. This guy was moving from one team to another team, and prior to that, there was something going on with Kyrie Irving, and I'm like, why is everybody paying attention to these athletes who are making millions of dollars and blowing that money on the stripper poles or the strippers, buying all these expensive cars and these houses? Because we have a society that's become corrupt. Even, Caesar said, give them, entertainment and wine, and they will never rebel. You see, you're being distracted with this nonsense of these sports athletes. And I was on a panel discussion the other day, and suddenly we stopped talking about liberation and freedom and started getting into the whole current talk about the latest NBA player. And this went on for a long time, and I was like, hey, what are we doing here? What are we supposed to be talking about here? Because I don't want to be talking about sports. And that seems to be all you do. In fact, I'm going to say this honestly, black man, something's wrong with you. You need to stop this with this sports stuff. You really do. You need to stop it with this sports and this rap hip hop stuff, because you rooting for some team and a player that is making millions and millions of dollars is not getting you anywhere. You trying to be a 55-year-old rapper is not going to get you anywhere. It's all just a coping mechanism because you don't want to face the reality of your situation. You're sick in the head, and you need to start taking measures to get some type of treatment for that, because all you care about is sports and rap, and it's disgusting and it's a disgrace. And the media doesn't help. In fact, they push it because it's the agenda of the oligarchy. Why do they push it? Because they need to distract you from the real agenda, which is depopulation. You see, why you're rooting for your favorite team member, basketball team, football player, they're out there creating means and methods of killing off the planet of people. They're doing it in the chemtrails. They're doing it in the food. They're doing it in the air. They're doing it in the so-called vaccines, and you don't care. It's not within your purview because you're too concerned about Cardi B, Gorilla, Blueface, people who let me explain something to you. This society is so corrupt you can't see the truth. It rewards the lowest common denominator. These rappers and athletes should not be given all of this money, all this acclaim, and all this fame. But they have to pump the money into that to keep you distracted so you don't see what they're doing to the planet, so you don't see what they're doing to the human race. There are many scientists who have invented great things, cures, who have mysteriously disappeared or died in car crashes. Research it. Research the list of people who have died under Hillary and Bill Clinton. Research it. This is why Trump said when he was debating Hillary, if I were president, you would be in jail. And many people are too dumb to know that a president can't put a former president in jail. They can't do it. They're immune. They have presidential immunity. So you can't prosecute Bush, Hillary. Now they're trying to do everything they can to stop Trump because they know he has a good chance of winning in the next election. I'm not saying Trump is better, but you're not taking an interest in your own survival. That's what the crazy thing is. So people, welcome to Operation Depopulate the Planet. I am glad you're taking part in your own destruction. Sit back and enjoy the show. Let me tell you about how we plan to exterminate you. We're going to exterminate you from putting chemicals, first and foremost, for putting chemicals in your food. These chemicals in the food will decrease your testosterone, men. They will increase the estrogen. They will make you more emotional. And for women, we're going to increase your testosterone to make you more combatant. And we're going to put stuff in the food that will make you instantly become overweight. Diabetic. Have heart disease. Yes, you'll find this in all the foods that we put on the shelves. These are the additives and preservatives and chemicals that have weird names, but you think that there are scientific things to help you as far as vitamins and minerals. No, that's not so. They're merely chemicals to kill you. Oh, and we're going to do some other stuff too. We're going to put some stuff in your water. And this stuff in your water is going to kill your sex drive because we don't want you procreating. What else are we going to do? We're going to kill off the very, very things you need for survival, like the insects, like the bees, through chemtrails. I used to be able to walk into Virginia, where I'm from, and see gnats all flying in the air, and these gnats would follow you no matter where you go. Now you go to Virginia, and that doesn't happen anymore, and that's because the chemicals have killed those gnats off. And what do you think those chemicals are doing to you? Yes, we're going to increase production of tobacco so you can smoke. And we're going to legalize marijuana so you don't give a care in the world as to what we're doing to kill you off. Welcome. Emergency exits are to the left and to the right. If you so choose to leave, which you won't, because we're going to give you a great meal. You see, I did a short film not too long ago about this very same subject matter, where I talked about the chemicals they're putting in the water, how they created feminism to create the gender war and to stop the population, stop the marriage rate, and how the excuse me abortion rate is high ever since 1973, I believe. 20 million black babies were aborted, 365,000 a year. We don't talk about that, do we? We don't talk about that most young black boys can't read at an eighth grade level. No, we won't talk about that. But we're gonna get Brittany Renner out of jail, and we're gonna trade her for a known killer because we want to push the idea of the LGBTQ community. And then we're going to put on the White House the rainbow flag. Not the flag of freedom, not Africa's flag, but the rainbow flag. Because we want the world to know that the future is being gay. And I don't mean happy. So we're going to push that as much as we can, even though we know it could be detrimental to the Black community. And we're going to create a false organization called BLM to take your money and funnel that money to the trans, gay, and lesbian organizations. And no, Black man, we're not going to give you a damn dime. And you're not going to do a damn thing about it. Welcome to the Operation Depopulate the Planet. We're so glad you have chosen us. We know you have a choice in how you're going to die, and we are glad that you have chosen us. So sit back, enjoy the ride, because you're in the pilot seat. Now, you're not going to know you're dying because it's going to happen very, very slowly and painfully. And you're going to be very, very happy because we're going to be releasing all kinds of movies to distract you. And yes, those movies will be full of what we call diversity, which is in disguise being gay. Because we got to stop you from procreating. And we don't give a shit about the gay community. We don't. We don't care about them. Long as we can use them as a tool to destroy the planet, we act like we care. Yes, we act like we care. So sit back, enjoy the ride, because we don't give a damn about you. We want to thank you for enjoying the many forms of entertainment we put out there. And we want to thank you for being so immersed in it. I mean, we knew that you would like it, but we didn't know that you would take to it on this level. It's all you do. All you do is you watch the sports, you watch the rap, and you play the Xbox. Wow, you've exceeded our expectations. You never think about liberation. You never organize. And we've given you the internet. And have you used that as a form of an organization to communicate, to rally, to stand up and fight for your rights? No, you use it as a tool to feed your ego and start channels about entertainment. Who's dating who? What rapper is doing what? And that's all you produce. And we're so happy you're doing that. So thank you again for participating in your destruction. We want you to know that it would not be possible if it wasn't for you, our devoted fans. And there's no need for you to be into Satanism. We've got that covered. You see, our goal is not just to depopulate the planet, but it's to put in place being, or we should say, how do we say this lightly? Because there's no real way to say it lightly. We do want you to worship Satan, but we're not going to tell you that up front. And we do want to make being a pedophile part of mainstream culture, but we don't want to say that. because you think it's bad. So we've got to inch our way to that very, very slowly so you can take it in slowly so you won't be shocked at our real agenda. So let's just say that Satan is good and loving children is good. And to help you with this and understand this, we're going to have a transgender read books and story time to your children so they can become confused as to if they're a boy or a girl. Because in reality, there is no gender. It's just a construct. In fact, I don't even exist. In fact, you're the one who's destroying yourself. Think about that. That's a deep one, isn't it? Ah. So I created these short films to publicize what was going on. And I think I was a little ahead of my time because no one cared. They were like, "Oh, interesting." I said, well, you don't see the message there?" And they're like, some people are like, "Oh, I get it." And other people are like, "No, I don't get it." And I was like, "Oh my God." So I think that we have now gotten to a period in time where we're getting it. You know what I mean? And that's good. So the first video I put up there was called White Power, and it had over 1 million views. And YouTube took it down. And I tried to explain to YouTube that it was a comedy, but they didn't want to listen. They said it violated their community guidelines. Okay, and so I rebooted it, I reshot it, and this is that version here. And I put a lot of other stuff about feminism and yeah, a lot of other stuff here. Let me get to the point of the water so you guys understand what's going on with the water. And all of this stuff is true. It's documented. It is not fictionalized in terms of what we're stating here in the film. And I'll put the link in the description box if you want to check it out, or if YouTube doesn't, they don't wipe out the link. Let me find. Oops, Nazis. All right, blackface. Yeah, this kind of pushed the envelope a lot. I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's some actual footage from the Klan. And not only did YouTube take it down, but even some of the cast members were like, "Hey, I'm not getting any work because they think the film is real and all that." And I'm like, "Really? Can you take the film down?" And I was like, "No." All right, so here we go.
All right, now we move on to phase 2 of the operation. Trojan horse.
Free water. Free bottled water. Get your bottled water. Free water. Guys. Free water. Free bottled water.
Get your free water.
Absolutely nothing in this water that is bad. Free water.
What's that you're putting into the water?
Nothing. Just lemon juice, to make the water taste better.
Atrazine.
Free bottled water. Get your bottled water here. Free bottled water.
Okay, so the whole idea behind the atrazine is that a scientist found out that atrazine was being put in the water, and during laboratory tests using atrazine on amphibians or what these frogs, they found out that it took away their genitals, and it in some cases it turned them, I think he said it turned them gay. In cases it made them like non-binary, so this was disconcerting to him, and he tried reporting it, he tried talking about it, but he lost his job, and a whole lot of things happened, so but you should look that up, atrazine, and do some research on that, because this is true. You see, because we have to start asking these questions. What's in our food? What's in our water? What's going on? And the mainstream media is good in telling you, oh, it's just pesticides. It's not just pesticides. They're lying. You see, the media used to be about investigative reporting. They're no longer about that. So what they do is they just mimic or parrot what the global elite wants them to say. So you can never get the truth. Never get the truth from mainstream media. You will never get the truth. So don't look for it there. You're going to get the truth from news sources that are not connected to the big time media outlets. And these are going to be your independent news sources. And often, and I stated things to individuals, by the way, and they were like, well, what are your sources? And I would give them and these people are just idiots. I would go into debates with these people, and I wouldn't debate them because I don't really debate them, but I would try to lead them to sources. And every source I would lead them to, they had an argument as to why it wasn't legit. So I'm like, okay, whatever, And one guy, I even said, well, if you can trace this back to a paper written by this so-called professor, but this noted professor who had a peer-reviewed paper, well, I don't follow white professors. I said, you really? You don't follow white professors? So when you go to college, are you going to tell that college that you don't want any classes taught by a white professor? He goes, yeah. You stupid idiot. And you think a college is going to let you in, and you think a college is going to do that, right? Okay, that's see, there's a word for it, and there's also a law against that. It's called discrimination. You dumbass. Sorry, but you got some real brain surgeons out there. You know what I mean? So it just like he couldn't admit the fact that he didn't know anything about what he was talking about, and he didn't want to read. You see, people don't like to read papers. They don't like to read books. They don't like to do research. So when I research, I tend to try and do as in-depth research as possible, so that that with the information I'm giving you, you can track it. You can understand that, hey, this is legit. You know what I mean? So here's your mission. I want you to go out there, and I want you to find someone that you can fall in love with and have as many babies as you can. Go out there, be fruitful and multiply. You got it? And that's how we're going to win this war. That's how we're going to do it. And even though I revealed the oligarchy's plan, I want you to know that I am not hating on anybody for their lifestyle. None. I don't hate gays, transgenders. Oh, by the way, we had we had our annual filmmakers meetup, which were really great. And it's funny, as I was driving up to the place where we were holding it, I saw this one person walking by, and I said, "Is that a guy or a girl?" They were in the street. And then when I got to the place where we were holding the event, that person came in and they were participating in the event. Ended up being a transgender person, and they actually ended up winning the best. I think it was the best monologue. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it was just weird how I spotted them outside on the street, and then when I got to the place, they were there, and then also they won for best monologue. Wow, that's synchronicity. There's no such thing as coincidences. Just be mindful of that. So I have no hate for anybody. The only people that hate on this planet is the oligarchy, and they hate you just for breathing, just for being who you are. And remember, they hate Black people and white people alike. So if you think you're white and you're going to be excused from their Operation Depopulation plan, it's not going to happen. You're going to. All right. So they got plans for you as well. So don't think that your skin, your white European skin is going to protect you. It's not. They're going to eliminate you too. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast, and donate to the channel if you're in a position to do so. Thank you for dropping by tonight, Lady Marie. So glad that you had an opportunity to come by, and don't forget to come to our next broadcast as well. And I'd love to see you again. So, as usual, this is Qesankh Ma'Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tehuti. My aunt is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, I'm in Ra.